Sometimes I feel like I can change everything. If you don't know where you from, how you gonna know how far you came?
Welcome back, Better Investors, to another episode here on the BI Academy channel. And let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So we have this article here from Reuters, and it says Binance Zhao pleads guilty and steps down to settle U.S. illicit finance probe. So a little bit more into what's going on with Binance. Essentially, as we see, the CEO is having some criminal charges placed against him, and Binance, the company, is having to pay some very huge fines, but it's a bit of a drop in the bucket when it comes to the company themselves and how much money they've been able to make. Binance has been a behemoth in terms of cryptocurrency exchanges, but I think what we'll see going forward is that Coinbase takes that spot, especially for the American public. The SEC delays decision on Grayscale Spot Ethereum ETF until January 2024. So it's not just the ETF for Ethereum, it's also for Bitcoin. And the reason being is because, honestly, I think it might be a little bit orchestrated. They want to make sure that the market isn't taking off a little too fast. Okay, so some people have jumped the gun. We might actually be seeing some of this priced in. Don't be surprised if the ETFs are approved and we actually see a little bit of a drop in price. But ultimately, this will be good for the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto as a whole when we're talking about ETFs, okay? Now, why is it big for crypto as a whole? It's because when money comes into Bitcoin and Ethereum, we can see that get transacted into other altcoins, other alternative coins, in which case people can be swapping one coin for another, or when it comes to things like Ethereum, on the actual Ethereum blockchain, you have a bunch of different tokens that can benefit from that. Chainlink, to name one of many, okay? And so with that being said, a spot ETF means that you actually hold and own the cryptocurrency project itself. Okay, so you're a part of that network. When we have the futures ETFs, which have already been approved for Bitcoin, that simply means that the price of Bitcoin can be shorted as well as it can be bidded on to go up in price as well. Futures is something that more so hurts the market versus a spot ETF can really only benefit the market in terms of upside potential. Now, we can see here with Cointelegraph, they're saying it's an early bull market. Just like I was talking about with the delaying of the ETFs, it could simply be because they don't want the market to take off a little too fast. They want to wait until it's a more proper time. We know that an election year is coming up. That'll be a great time for the market to be going up, right? So an early bull market, Bitcoin price preps for the first ever weekly golden cross. So on the weekly chart, the moving averages are crossing each other for a bullish golden cross, and that's very powerful. The higher the time frame, so weekly, monthly, and yearly and multi-year, is the higher time frames. The higher the time frame, the more powerful the indicator or pattern has on the chart in terms of impact. It's important to remember that Bitcoin is still a baby, or a child rather, in the eyes of time, okay? So I know it's an asset class in terms of cryptocurrency. It's new on the scene and it's kind of been around for a while. But if Bitcoin was seen as a person, it's only a teenager. It's not even old enough to drive yet, okay? So that's what we're seeing on the Bitcoin chart in terms of technical analysis. Diving right back into that TA, we see here that on this channel, for Bitcoin, it's now at the top of the channel. And if you look at the RSI as well, it's a little bit on the oversold side. So what that means is we're going to see potentially some downside pressure and a little bit of a correction when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. And the reason being is because no market goes straight up. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, they can go parabolic, okay? So literally straight up or straight down. But there's always some kind of a correction. What that means for the price of Bitcoin, if we're looking here at this chart, is if you see on the bottom of this channel, it's closer to $30,000. We can see the price of Bitcoin come back down and retest that $30,000 level to turn what was resistance into support and use that for further upside for the price of Bitcoin. Moving right along, we're going to take a look at El Salvador. And so a little bit of precursor to this, during the COVID era, we seen that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as a national currency because their currency was hyperinflating. So El Salvador's Bitcoin portfolio is near break even after price rally. Simply put, El Salvador is back on top. They're in the green from where they initially bought Bitcoin. So El Salvador first started buying Bitcoin around the $30,000 level, and because the price has now increased, El Salvador has a positive return on their investment. Now, obviously, they're not looking at it as an investment, more so an inflation hedge in being able to maintain the purchasing power of their national currency. Bitcoin, not being necessarily owned by any country or one individual, is a great way to do that, because now it can't be manipulated in the ways that their original national currency was manipulated. And how was that being manipulated? Well, it was essentially being counterfeited into oblivion. So they were printing, and if you think about the term printing money, for one, its currency is not money. Bitcoin can be seen as real money. Gold, silver can be seen as real money. So when it comes to the currency and what they were doing more so what's called quantitative easing. So they were adding more and more of their currency into existence, whether that was actually putting the currency paper out or simply adding zeros digitally to their balance sheet. So the last thing I want to take a look at is these crypto prices, okay? So we can see here with Bitcoin sitting at around $43,000, Ethereum at $2,300. We don't count Tether, that's a stable coin. Binance coin here at $235. And of course, what's going on with Binance is going to affect that price as well, right? XRP, the only cryptocurrency to have regulatory clarity inside the United States, is at 64 cents. Solana, $71. USDC, another stable coin. And we see here Cardano. Cardano is right below 47 cents, okay? Obviously, by the time you see this video, prices would have changed. But what we're seeing here is that the market is going back up. And what happens to Bitcoin and also Ethereum is a result of what we can see for the rest of the market. So by market cap, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 with Cardano, it's not saying that here's the best cryptocurrencies in order. What it's saying is here's the cryptocurrency that has the most money flowing through it at the moment. So we can see cryptocurrencies usurp each other based on the volume that is flowing through these different cryptocurrencies. XRP is a great example of this. XRP is the only cryptocurrency to actually surpass Ethereum inside of market cap placement. Now, you're not seeing that here because this screenshot of the market is older than when I'm actually putting this video out. But XRP, between when I took this screenshot and the time that you're seeing this, actually did pass Ethereum inside of market cap. So that's huge. Understand that there's more interest and more value flowing through XRP, which does not have a bunch of different projects being built on it. It's more so being used by its own community and institutions, right? Institutional players are on XRP, the ledger, but it's not like you have a bunch of different tokens that are all being derived from the XRP ledger. So if you take Ethereum, for an example, you have a bunch of different ECR20 tokens. Chainlink, once again, being an example of that. Actually, USDC can be another example of that as well. You have a bunch of different tokens that are derivatives, so to speak, of the Ethereum blockchain, and therefore that gives it a lot more of a use case when it comes to why it would have value flowing through it. XRP has just as much utility, if not more, but it's in a different way. So what we're seeing is the volume is there and the interest is there. So if you look at XRP and what it's been able to do, the price doesn't always tell the story necessarily. The fact that XRP was able to surpass Ethereum inside of market cap means that we can see not only a very significant price increase in terms of the token, but also significantly more adoption. I appreciate everyone that watched this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know some more stuff that you want to see and for us to talk about. As always, better investments equals a better future, and I'll see you guys inside the next video.
I still see the sunshine standing in the rain. Reach for higher heights, you focus and elevate.